Hey guys, this is Scott, and I am here on vacation in the Smoky Mountains, so that's happening all in the background behind me. I just wanted to share with you a couple of things about one of my favorite tools today, Prodigy Math game. And so to do that, I'm going to start off with this. So this is what math looks like to a math teacher or a mathematician. And this is what we see. We see this intricate, beautiful thing with moving pieces and things that are incredible to look at, beautiful, in fact. And this, however, is what students see when they look at math. Where we saw this beautiful, intricate thing, many of our students see a large field of grass growing. And as most people would experience, watching grass grow is not all that exciting. This is what math teachers experience when they look at math. A beautiful, yummy, wonderful thing that they want to experience. And this, on the other hand, is what your students experience. Yum. This is what I see when I look at math. I see something that is exciting and interesting and attractive and maybe a little bit sexy, right? That is not what my students see. I wish they did, but that is not what they see. In fact, this is what they see. Ah! That guy. And he's a little scary. So introducing students to math is a little bit like introducing them to sloth from that last picture. They haven't yet seen the fun-loving, piratey side of sloth. They've only seen the kind of scary side, and he's a little disturbing. But that's the way they feel when they look at math for many of them. And so our job is to make that a little bit easier on them. So I'm going to go ahead and let you in on a little secret between you and me. I hate video games. I hate them. In the same way that some people hate chocolate or crack cocaine. Too far? Sorry. I hate them because they're so addictive, and I can't be too judgy about kids who like video games, right? I've got a lot of middle school boys and girls who just love video games, and I can't be too judgy because I surrendered a ridiculous amount of my childhood to video games and a disturbing amount of my adulthood to video games because they're just so addictive. And I'm sure you've seen this with your own kids. You've made dinner, everything is ready, and you call little Johnny up. He's downstairs playing a video game. Little Johnny, come on up for dinner. It's okay, Mom. Just 5 more minutes. 5 minutes later. Just 10 more minutes. Just 20 more minutes. Just 2 hours later, and he's still downstairs. Little Johnny hasn't eaten, hasn't been to the bathroom. 4 hours later, still no food, no bathroom. I got kids in my classroom who can't go 4.5 minutes without asking me to go to the bathroom. I came in one day to my classroom. Students were having a legit discussion about wearing diapers so that they could play video games without having to get up and go to the bathroom. So you know what's on my list for supplies this year in my math class? Huggies. Because if they can play video games and wear diapers, then they can do math and wear diapers. Okay, that's a little far. Anyway, here's the thing. They're addictive, and we have to find some way to capitalize on that. And many of our students come into our classroom expecting engagement and excitement and interactivity on the same level as what they might find in Fallout 4 or Call of Duty or, forbid, Fortnite. And we don't have millions of dollars to funnel into that, but maybe we can find something that might help us along the way. Now, what we all really want is a video game about math, but not one of those lame video games where they just work problems until they want to throw up. One that's engaging and exciting. Now, what would you do if I told you that I found one? Right? No, man. You didn't find one. That's not real. It's not possible. You couldn't have. Oh yeah, I found one. But you wouldn't believe me. You would say something like, oh yeah, well, I'll believe that you found a video game that's interesting about math when you show me a picture of a bear and a lion and a tiger all hugging. Yeah, that's when I'll believe that you found a video game that's exciting about math. Hold my beer. I'm just kidding. I don't drink beer, and that would be child unfriendly. So, yeah. So what we all really want is an exciting video game about math. Not one of those lame video games where they just work problems and want to throw up, but an exciting one, an engaging one. That's what we really want. Now, what would you do if I told you that I found one? Oh no, man. Nuh-uh. That's impossible. Such a thing doesn't exist. I can't believe that. You know what, man? I'll believe you when you show me a picture of a bear and a lion and a tiger all hugging. Yeah, that's when I'll believe that you found a video game that's exciting about math. Show me a picture of a bear and a lion and a tiger hugging. Blam! Right there. Don't ever accuse me of disappointing. Bear, lion, and tiger all in a warm, friendly, loving embrace. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, Scott, you came through with the picture of the bear and the lion and the tiger. You came through with the snuggly goodness. But this whole video game thing about math, yeah, I don't think it exists. Hold my beer. I'm just kidding. I don't drink beer, and that would be child unfriendly, so let's just forget about that. So here we go. The game that I want to share with you is called Prodigy Math Game, and if you've never tried it, it's fantastic. Not only that, it has that cute little logo of that guy there, and the little fuzzy Prodigy blue thing. Yeah. So, what is Prodigy? Prodigy is an adaptive math practice form. So number one, it's adaptive. You go in and the kids can work lots of different problems over and over and over again. You can set them in front of it. They can play forever. And it's done in an engaging RPG world. A lot of video games suck at the presenting of cool, interesting storylines. But the RPG storyline of Prodigy Math Game keeps you locked in. And I promise you, I've had kids begging me to play this in class. It is for real an interesting thing for them. It's standards based, and you can assign individual standards, and you can assign practices that are focused on those standards. You can even give them reviews that are based around standardized test practices. It's really good stuff. You can differentiate based on their skills. You can choose for individual students what you want to give them. It does have robust reports, and so when I say that, you can see what your student's doing, how many minutes they've spent on it, how well they're doing. A lot of really good stuff in there. They can play each other. This is one of the things that really gets them in class. They love to kind of set up, and they always want to move next to each other so that they can play against each other just like it was a head-to-head game on their PS4 or their Xbox 360. And it's free, mostly. When I say it's free, it really is free, 100% free, but the kids can go in and buy some upgrades for different skins or different things like that. But the game itself, the gameplay and everything else is free. Okay, so these are the steps that you need to take, and you can explore this on your own. If I can, I'll maybe throw this in at the end of the video. I want to move on to the next part, which is really how we're going to use it in our classroom in a productive way, right? Because that's what we really all want. We all know that this stuff can be used. We want to know how. So here's some ways that you can use it. You can use it as adaptive practice. Just set them in front of it and let them play. You can use it as a focused practice. You can use it for RTI, which is one of the things I'm specifically going to focus on this year. You can give it to them for homework or as a choice of reward. Assessments, spiral view, test prep, all kinds of things. So let's kind of look at a couple of those quickly so that you can get an idea of just some ways to be inspired and how to use it in your class. First of all, you're given different kinds of things that you can assign to the kids. You can assign them specific assignments, and you can quiz them on those specific skills. You can give them plans that are aligned to a standard, or you can give them test preps so that you can get them ready for K-prep. And you can do that in terms of a choice of reward where you give them something they can do each day. If they are good or if they do something special, then you can give that to them as a reward. And I promise you, they're going to want it. They might not every kid, right? some kids just, not everything is for every kid, is what I'm trying to say. And so I've had one or two kids who'll be like, no, I don't like Prodigy Math game. I would much rather you give me an assignment out of the math book. Those children are crazy. I don't understand them. That's what they want. So, not for everybody. You can use it as adaptive practice. Again, you're giving them differentiated practice, because what it does is it evaluates where they are based on a test that it gives them, and then it updates that on their success and their skill. So it's actually growing with them so that they're ready to go. You can give them focused practice, so you can assign them a specific assignment. You can do that weekly or monthly, and then you can reward them, right? You can recognize them in front of their kids, in front of the other kids, so they can see what's really good. You can give it to them as homework, right? Kids just love homework all the time, right? They just love it. I assign them homework and they're like, yes, Mr. Dotson, I would love to do some homework. Give me more. No. But this, they might actually like it. Believe it or not. I don't know about every day, but they might actually like it. My kids did when I assigned it to them every now and again as homework. You can give them a targeted review, right? So if you're waiting, you're getting ready to give a test and you want to make sure that they review for it, you can target those specific standards that you want, give them those assignments, and go. You can pre-assess them. It's a great way to kind of assign something for them and pre-assess where they are on these different kinds of problems. Good stuff there, and then give them, maybe some, I don't know that I would recommend this for a summative assessment, to be honest. It's a little light. It's detailed, don't get me wrong, but it's not what I want to give. I want to give something more specific as a summative assessment, but, maybe for a one-off, for a giggle, maybe it would work. You can give it to them at the end of the year for test prep, right before test prep, and we just need to get them some review stuff, whether it's for end of year or for K-prep or whatever. You just want to give them some general review for the end of the year after teaching is over with. This would be a good idea for that. One of the best ways, the things that I'm excited about, is for RTI, because a lot of times my RTI students, they're not terribly engaged to begin with, but many of them do play video games. And so here, I can set them aside and let them learn at their own pace, and it differentiates it for them. I can intervene and insert my own things when I need to. It's pretty good stuff. So, here are just some general tips before we close up to think about. Number one, make sure that you encourage competition with the kids. Find a way to do it. Put a competition on a bulletin board and find some way to elevate somebody. There's automatically a ranking system in the game, so you can rank them based on that, but recognize them in class. You can use the activities and the plans that are available. Use them specifically and wisely to focus on those individual skills that you want. Make sure that you get those kids playing player versus player, because good Lord, they love it, and they will compete with each other to win, and it's just crazy to watch it happen. Reward them and recognize them. Make sure that you do that. I have to throw this in here. Don't overdo it. It's not your curriculum. You can't just throw them in front of it all year. Maybe one or two of those kids who really struggle, or those who learn independently really well, they might be able to do that. But you can't do this as your primary core curriculum every day, in my opinion. It just will burn out. The interest that they have in it will burn out. And then final, as if that's a number, make sure that you monitor them, because the best of kids will get bored and they will find ways to get into things that they shouldn't. And when they have a computer in front of them, there's a world of destructive and evil things that they can get into. That's the short version. What I would recommend is really get in there and try it. Get in and play the game. See what the kids are going to experience, because it's actually really cool. It has all the grade levels from 1st grade through 8th grade. By the way, I don't get paid by these guys. I don't even know them. It's just a fantastic thing. So get in there and play it. And then once you've played it, you can look at how to set up your classrooms and do assignments. And then I would say just get into a discussion group and talk about and dream about the way that you could plug this into your class. Maybe some of the things that I suggested sound interesting to you. Maybe they don't. Maybe you have a brand new idea. That's awesome. Maybe you can share it with me. That would be great. So find me on Twitter at @S_Dossett. And have a great year. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you're doing. You're making a difference. Throw these kids in front of a math video game. Bye-bye.